Shaun and Ed genuinely love each other. They're bros. They have terrible boundaries. Shaun doesn't have a very strong sense of self. He identifies as Ed's friend.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Yeah, boy!
Shaun is afraid to stand up for what he wants.
Yeah.
He's afraid to push back against Ed.
Yeah.
He's afraid to lead.
I ain't doing nothing for him.
Well, do it for me then.
Sometimes you do need to leave people behind because they are holding you back.
These two guys are just so simpatico.
Shaun and Ed have got to transition into a different version of their friendship.
Cheers.
I love you too, man.
He goes from being terrified to somebody who knows what he wants, somebody who's not afraid to take charge, and Liz finds this very attractive, as she should.
Thanks, babe.
Hello and welcome to Cinema Therapy. I'm Jonathan Decker, and how's that for a slice of fried gold?
I'm Alan Seawright, and you've got red on you.
So I have. Today we are going to be discussing one of our favorite movies, Shaun of the Dead.
One of the greatest films ever made.
And we relate to it because we also have a toxic friendship.
Yep.
So we're going to be looking at healthy boundaries in relationships, what happens when you sacrifice your own dreams, goals, and wants and wishes and desires because you like this person and you don't want to upset or offend them. Ghost Town, great song.
Shaun,
Yeah.
do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
I know he's your best friend, but you do live with him.
I know.
It's not that I don't like Ed. Ed, it's not that I don't like you.
It's alright.
Just be nice if we could spend a bit more time together. Just the two of us. It's just with Ed here. It's no wonder I always bring my flatmates out, and then that only exacerbates things.
What do you mean?
Well, you guys hardly get on, do you?
No, what does exacerbate me?
It means, to make things worse.
This scene might be the best opening scene ever written for a film.
Guys, it's not that I don't like you.
Right?
And it's not I don't want to spend time with you.
Also, the fact that the fruit machine...
Ed doesn't have too many friends.
Can I get any of you a drink? Nobody?
Nobody?
I know, friend.
The fact that the fruit machine is playing sound effects for everything, like it pans over to Di and Dave, and it...
We just see these listed buildings and, I'm always dragging him to the theatre.
I'm not so hot on theatre.
Well, how about a nice meal? It's your anniversary soon, isn't it?
It was last week.
Oh, did you do anything special?
We came here.
Shaun, Hognums!
Have you ever met a perfect screenplay? I have. Her name is Shaun of the Dead.
And almost anything Edgar Wright
And
does.
Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg are very good at making words on pages.
Like, setup and payoff it's masterful.
It's unreal. And this scene is doing so much. Obviously, it's introducing all of our main characters. It's introducing the main character conflicts. It's doing it through jokes.
Yes.
There are filmmaking flourishes that don't feel like they're slapping you in the face.
Yeah.
It feels natural, even though it is clearly very heightened.
Well, the fact that you start on just Shaun and you think, okay, here's our protagonist, and then you realize, oh, he's having a conversation with his girlfriend, and then you realize that Ed's there, and then you realize that the other two are there, and that they've all been there this whole time. Like, just the reveals are super fun.
It's everything is a joke and setting something else up and revealing character. This is a filmmaking masterclass. There is nothing. If you want to learn how to make movies, watch the Cornetto trilogy over and over and over.
Do you want anything from the shop?
Cornetto.
So I'm looking at this, and Liz is calling Shaun out because she's like, it's not that I don't like Ed, but we don't really have a relationship.
Right.
Because your primary relationship is with your bestie, because that's who you prioritize spending time with. And they didn't go out for their anniversary. They just went to the Winchester, had a few pints, threw some darts, Shaun's not taking the time to treat her special. And even her friends are calling him out on this. They don't have the healthiest relationship, but at least they go out and do things together.
Right.
Right? And so we're seeing that Shaun has a lovely girlfriend who he later admits that he loves, but he's not as invested as he could be because he'd rather just hang out with Ed.
Yeah.
You knew my childhood best friend, Tim.
Mr. Tim.
with an N.
We would show up in our old neighborhood in our late 20s and people would be like, are you guys still roaming around together? Like,
Yeah. We lived together at college and spent all our time together.
You need to find yourself a girl, mate.
You know, I don't think Shaun makes enough money working at 4E Electric.
Shaun of the Debt, am I right? This episode is brought to you by PDS Debt Solutions.
PDS Debt rolls all of your payments into one low monthly payment.
PDS Debt Solutions really could have helped me when I was fresh out of graduate school and I was deeply in debt and earning almost no money and starting a family, and those were dark days.
Really planned that well.
Listen, I had to. It got me to where I am today. What do you want from me?
Better money management?
Okay. PDS Debt has customized options for anyone struggling with credit cards, personal loans, collections, or medical bills. Anyone with $10,000 or more of eligible debt qualifies, and there is no minimum credit score required.
PDS Debt is offering a free debt analysis that only takes 30 seconds to complete. What are you doing for the next 30 seconds? Do this.
Or watch our show and then do this later.
Or do the next 30 seconds after you finish our show.
Or pause our show. You got options. Head over to pdsdebt.com/cinema to get your free debt assessment today.
Every analysis comes with a free puppy.
We're not guaranteeing that.
We don't. I don't think that's true.
You alright, Noodle?
Hello, mate. Got anything?
No, man.
But Evil says she was older.
So their roommate wants Shaun to talk to Ed about being a mess, not writing down messages that are left, leaving the front door open. And Shaun's not doing it, so Pete's gonna step in.
Could you please clean up a bit?
Yep.
And if you play the answer machine, could you take down everyone's messages, not just your own?
Yep.
It's not that taxing, is it?
Writing something on a little scrap of paper.
No.
Andrew Serafinowicz is so good. That little jacket tug, just such a jerk.
Dom, hi.
Come on, it was pretty funny. You do what he said, though. I ain't doing nothing for him.
Well, do it for me then.
I'm sorry, Shaun. It's all right. No. I'm sorry, Shaun.
Oh! That's rotten!
I'll stop doing them when you start laughing.
I am not laughing, I'm going.
Get that?
You get it!
Shaun and Ed genuinely love each other. They're bros. They have terrible boundaries.
Yes.
Shaun enables Ed, and Ed allows him to. Ed can, and there's nothing wrong with gaming, but Ed literally games all day, leaves garbage everywhere, doesn't really work to support himself, just kind of mooches off of Shaun and Pete. And Pete wants Shaun, says like, well, he's your friend, so stand up to him and tell him what needs to happen because this isn't working. And Shaun can't bring himself to do it.
He won't do anything.
Shaun is trying to have boundaries with Ed and hold Ed accountable.
And Ed is respecting them to the level of he literally farts on it.
Yeah. And it blows Shaun off. And Shaun is happy to be distracted by farts and video games because he didn't really want to have the conversation anyway. He wanted to avoid it. He wanted things just to be kosher between them. And this is a hard life lesson that I'm in a much better place of not being avoidant, but I was very much Shaun for a long time, where I didn't want to upset the apple cart and small things would become big things. Shaun doesn't have a very strong sense of self. He identifies as Ed's friend, right? That's his identity. That's who he's been for so long that even now that he's with Liz, he can't detach. This is what we call enmeshment.
Okay.
I rarely share quotes verbatim on this channel, but I'm going to today from a Psychology Today article called Tangled Up in Enmeshment. It describes it this way. Enmeshment is characterized by an inability to control one's emotional involvement with another person. If one's identity is wrapped up in meeting another person's needs, then their own life goals are thwarted. Exiting an enmeshed relationship requires deepening one's relationship with oneself. The reason I wanted to read that verbatim is I thought, that is this movie.
Yeah.
Shaun doesn't have a relationship with himself. He doesn't know who he is. He doesn't have a backbone yet. He doesn't have ambition. He doesn't have drive. He literally just wants to spend his days spinning records and eating peanuts and drinking beer and throwing darts.
Yeah.
Which, you know, in moderation, that's fine, but he's in a state of arrested development, and it's because of his enmeshment with Ed.
Yeah.
And Ed, for his part, is fine that he's contributing to this with Shaun. He's fine that he's holding Shaun back because they have such good laughs together.
Don't scratch it! Wait!
4 in the f***ing morning.
It's Saturday.
No, it's not. It's f***ing Sunday. And I've got to go to f***ing work in 4 f***ing hours because every other f***er in my f***ing department is f***ing ill. Now, can you see why I'm so f***ing angry? Yeah?
Hey. You know, I'm sorry. We've had a couple of drinks. We split up with Liz tonight.
We split up with Liz.
Just
Yeah.
keep it down, yeah.
Prick. Nothing. No, come on, stop it. We're friends.
He's not my friend. He's a f***ing idiot.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means, why don't you f*** off? You want to live like an animal? Go live in a shed, you thick.
Oh, leave him alone.
Setting stuff up for
Shaun.
later.
All he ever does is hold you back. Or does it make your life easier having someone around who's more of a loser than you are?
What's that supposed to mean?
You know what I mean. I assume it was Liz who did the dumping. Sort your f***ing life out, mate.
What's up with your hand, man?
I got mugged on the way home from work.
By who?
I don't know, some crackheads or something. One of them bit me.
Why did they bite you?
I don't know, I didn't stop to ask them. I've got a splitting headache, and your stupid hip-hop isn't helping. And the front door is open again!
It's not hip-hop. It's electro. Next time I see him, he's dead.
Next time I see him, he's dead. Because next time he sees him,
He's a zombie.
he's dead. Holy crap, it's like this movie's really, really, really well written.
And the whole front door is open again.
Again!
Because the front door's open, a zombie's gonna wander in later. Like, everything is set up, payoff, set up. It's like clockwork.
It's so
There's not
good.
a wasted line of dialogue.
Everything is doing 2 or 3 things. It is unreal how tightly this movie is constructed.
So Pete is exactly right. Shaun needs to sort his life out, and Ed is holding him back. But here's the issue. It's not the friendship that's holding Shaun back. It's the lack of clearly defined boundaries, and it's the enabling. In other words, it's the enmeshment. Shaun and Ed can have a very healthy relationship. I'm not sitting here saying if you have an enmeshed situation, just jettison that relationship. But it's time to do some growth. And growth can be painful. Oftentimes it happens in high-pressure situations like a zombie invasion.
Are they still out there? Yeah. Maybe I should do.
Oh my gosh, the timing.
There are reports of chaos on the motorways as thousands of people attempt to flee the cities. The M1...
How heavy the sound was when they sat down.
Do you think this is the same thing?
and M68 are all at a standstill.
And then this,
The Home
like,
Office has
we're going to set
issued a
something up in this
statement
shot, and then
urging
we're going to
people
crawl
stay
in,
their
and
homes,
listen to the
await
TV.
further instruction. Ensure all residences are secure with all doors and windows firmly locked and barricaded.
Front door's always open.
Oh, for God's sake! Oh, he's got armor!
With only... Nice pixelation there, bro.
Totally saved it. Still a PG-13 joke.
I'm going to shut the front door.
The thing about cinema that differentiates it from any other art form is the edit.
You want red in you?
Thanks, babe.
Chocolate-covered strawberry.
In movies, you can cut from one picture to a different picture, and the viewer will interpolate meaning between those things, and that's what makes movies powerful and different from anything else. The timing in this movie is perfect in every way. Sometimes it holds things really long to make them funny. Sometimes it gets out of it too quickly and makes it funny.
Yeah.
But everything serves to be either funny or scary. And you know this as a comedian and a filmmaker. The two hardest things to do in movies is funny and scary.
Yeah. Thematically, I'm seeing here, Shaun's inability to hold Ed accountable has now had a serious consequence. Had Shaun held Ed's feet to the fire about closing and locking the front door, which Pete had asked Shaun to do, they would not be dealing with this situation.
Although, to be fair,
Yeah.
that was Shaun that left the door open.
Oh, really?
When he went to the shops, And
yes,
he didn't have
okay,
change for Nelson.
That's fair. Well, in that case,
and then he came in and left the door open.
Their bad habits are rubbing off on each other. And because Shaun's not stepping into, okay, I'm going to practice what I preach, he can't hold Ed accountable till he's doing it, and he doesn't do it. So it's still a similar thing that their enmeshment and their unhealthy boundaries at this point have caused a major situation.
Absolutely.
This is hardly constructive, David.
No, Lizzie, this is a waste of time. We should have stayed at the flat.
Yeah, why didn't you?
Because of Captain Wow.
You're not going to get anywhere by mooning. Right, that's all.
She's an
Shake
actress.
out, get nice and limber. Or not. Now, take another look at the way he moves. Remember, very limp. Almost like sleepwalking. Look at the face. It's vacant, with a hint of sadness. Like a drunk who's lost a bet. Okay, let's try, shall we? Liz. Nice, good vocal work. Okay. Barbara, that's excellent.
Sorry, dear, I was miles away.
Come on. Okay. It's mournful, sorrowful. You definitely hate it. Go. Much better. Ed.
I'll do it on the night.
The night.
What is that?
What about yours?
Hey?
Who died and made you king of the zombies?
Oh,
No. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay.
Shaun's little
Let's all try
grin.
together, shall we? 1, 2, 3.
That cut every time just, oh, I love this movie.
So I love, first of all, that Ed defends Shaun, but then to Shaun's face, he takes the piss out of him. It's like, if someone else is going to give my friend crap, I'm going to defend him, but I can give my friend crap.
I can give my friend crap all the time.
And I wanted to include that scene, first of all, because the miles away joke is amazing.
I want to say it's one of the best jokes in this movie, but that's a list of 800 jokes. So.
Yeah, and you and I both have a background. We were in this, Alan and I were in the same sketch comedy club in college. And I'll do it on the night is such a relatable line, because there's, in every acting group, there's at least one person who's like, I don't want to rehearse. Like, or I'll rehearse.
I gotta save my energy.
Yeah. There is healthy, beautiful things about Shaun and Ed's friendship.
For sure.
But what we see throughout the film, we see at the beginning, Shaun is afraid to stand up for what he wants.
Yeah.
He's afraid to push back against Ed.
Yeah.
And he's afraid to lead. And this his whole character arc is, I'm going to grow into knowing myself and being a better version of myself. And Ed and I are just going to have to work out what that looks like, so that I can have a healthy relationship with Liz and a healthy relationship with myself, which is two things he wasn't doing before.
Yeah.
Shaun and Ed have got to transition into a different version of their friendship. And we see a little bit of that in this scene where Ed accepts Shaun's leadership.
Yeah.
And, you guys know I love this phrase from the Gottmans, accepts influence. That when he challenges how Shaun does it, and then Shaun does it, and he's like, oh, that's pretty good. And then you see in the next scene, Ed's basically doing what Shaun is doing.
Yep.
And that's the thing about Edgar Wright's screenplays, is there's stuff that he beats you over the head with on purpose because beating you over the head is funny. And then there's stuff that's so subtle that you have to watch the movie 4 or 5 times before you go, wait a second.
He's literally just imitating what Shaun just did 20 seconds ago.
It's a comedy bit, but it's also telling you about the evolution of the characters.
Yep.
And it's not saying, here, this is happening. It's just kind of like part of the milieu of what's going on. I love Edgar Wright. It's so good.
Well, Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
We've got our nibbles. We've got our mini cheddars.
David!
Twiglets. Oh, look, hog lumps.
Pickle.
Hello, Mum. All right? Everybody okay?
Yeah.
Any sign of John and Bernie?
We haven't seen them.
Check upstairs.
I think it's locked.
What's the phone situation?
Dead, same as the power.
Okay.
Nice of you to join us.
Yeah, well, promised, didn't I?
Shaun's really being a leader now, and Liz is noticing.
How?
There is no INT.
I just gave him the slip. Wasn't difficult. They're not all that.
How did you get in?
There is a back door, David. I tried to tell you before you went and smashed the window.
Well, I wasn't the one who was blowing our cover by having a tiff with my boyfriend.
He's not my boyfriend.
Might be a bit warm, the cooler's off. Thanks, babe.
So I don't know for certain, but that is definitely a thing that actually happened to Simon Pegg and Nick Frost in real life at some point.
Well, and they're really close, best friends. And thanks to you, I've been exposed to Spaced, which is where they first started capturing it on film. They have such an easy, real dynamic. And you look at the different films they play at World's End, Paul, Hot Fuzz, and the characters are all wildly different. But the chemistry,
relationship and the chemistry always fits perfectly because these two guys are just so simpatico. Like, it's amazing to watch.
Shaun is now getting disentangled, right?
Yeah.
Exiting enmeshment. And to Ed's credit, Ed's not resisting it.
Right.
He's not fighting it. He's seeing it, and he reminds me in a weird way of Ben Affleck's character in Good Will Hunting, where he wants his friend to grow up and leave, you know, like he wants good things for him.
But he's not emotionally mature enough to give the Ben Affleck speech.
No. But I love seeing this because Shaun comes back and he goes from being terrified and he goes from being somebody who just kind of lives life passively to somebody who knows what he wants, somebody who's not afraid to take charge, but also to delegate, to listen, to accept feedback, to integrate everybody as part of the team. And Liz finds this very attractive. As she should.
Come on.
Ed's been bitten.
I might just stay here.
By Pete.
I think you two should make a go of it.
What are you talking about?
I only hold you back.
Yeah, but... Maybe you should have this.
So you want it?
No. Can't do anything with it anyway, I'm rubbish. Ed, I'm sorry.
What for?
Because, you know, I was shouting at you earlier on.
It's all right. I'm sorry too.
It's okay.
No. I'm sorry, Shaun.
Oh, God!
Stop doing them when you stop laughing.
I'm not laughing.
Simon Pegg is such a good actor.
One last cigarette.
You better be off.
Bye, Ed. Love you.
Cheers.
I love you too, man.
Guy.
Still lovable and still terrible to the end.
Gosh dang, what a good movie. And I am crying because that is such an emotionally powerful scene at the end of this indescribably silly movie.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of just silliness, I mean, it's like Pink Panther level, just like wackiness.
The whole
all over the place.
Don't Stop Me Now bar fight,
yeah,
you know?
Just ridiculous. And the fact that they're able to bring it around and center all of it on this relationship that has now evolved to this point, where you can have a really emotional goodbye scene where Shaun has learned and grown, Ed has finally accepted, I am the one holding you back.
Yeah.
And it's so emotionally satisfying. This is why I love movies.
Guy.
And this movie, like all Edgar Wright movies, but the Cornetto trilogy in particular, these are like maximum movie movies. There's a whole lot of movie in this movie.
Yeah.
Right? Silly comedy, horrifying gross out blood, and real powerful relationship drama.
Yeah. You talk about laughter through tears. When Ed farts... and Shaun smells it and he goes, oh, and he goes, I'll stop doing them when you stop laughing. And Shaun says, I'm not laughing. You talk about Simon Pegg being a great actor. He delivers that line with genuine affection. He's amused and he's sad because he knows he's leaving his friend to die.
Yes.
And all of that is in the way he says, I'm not laughing.
I'm not laughing.
It's so amazing. The layers of what's going on, because you have literally You two should go. I will only hold you back. I've been bitten by a zombie.
Yeah.
I'm dying. I'm going to turn. You need to go and save yourselves. I will hold you back. And then there's the theme of the entire movie, which is I am holding you back in life.
Yes.
And I want this for you. I want you to be able to move forward. And so Shaun and Liz go out into the light, right? And they
raise
go
up.
Yeah, they go up to a higher life together. Of course, we see that Shaun and Ed's friendship continues, and he
in the way it should have all along. Ed is a zombie in the shed.
You want to live like an animal? Go live in the f***ing shed. And he does. And Shaun and Liz are in this really healthy, beautiful place. We don't always have to leave our friends behind in order to move forward with our lives.
Right. If you are in an enmeshed, like a negative enmeshed relationship, what advice can you give, like practical advice can you give to people? How can you start setting boundaries?
Well, let's start with the most extreme cases. Is if you're in an abusive enmeshed relationship, that's why there are shelters that are secure and private, right? That's what I'd recommend there. If you're in an abusive enmeshed situation, you're not going to have a conversation drawing boundaries that's going to go well, and the other person's either going to respect it or they're not, but you can just leave, right? First of all, there's that. And if that's you, we're so sorry. And please get help and support.
Yes.
If it's not an abusive relationship, it's just kind of like this.
It's just a stupid relationship.
In that case, what you want is to take a little bit of time to decide, who am I? Who do I want to be? And what do I want out of life? And then to clearly express and communicate not only that, but what that looks like. So for example, hey, I want to pursue a degree. That means we're not bowling 3 times a week. Right? Maybe we bowl once a week. Like, is that something you can be supportive of? And people might be hurt or they might be frustrated or whatever, but if they come around to being fully supportive and they're willing to make concessions to support your dreams, then that's a healthy friendship. Sometimes people won't. They won't budge. And it is hard to say this and it's hard to experience it, but sometimes you do need to leave people behind because they are holding you back.
Yeah.
And that's sad, but that's life. Do your friends try and hold you back? Do they not want you to move forward? Do they not, or do they support you, on the other hand, in who you want to be and in the goals you want to have? Once again, if you're in a relationship, friendship, or dating, or marriage, or family, or whatever, and it's enmeshed, and it's not healthy, and you're not moving forward because you don't want to offend or upset this person, recognize that if it's truly a healthy relationship, they'll be happy for you to pursue your goals and your dreams. And sometimes that means you draw boundaries and you see what they do. Shaun draws boundaries, and to Ed's credit, Ed's terrible in a lot of ways, but when Shaun starts acting the way he needs to move forward, Ed is nothing but happy for him and supports it. And that's beautiful. This is, for all of the fun, this is actually a really beautiful story, beautiful movie, and I love it.
And that's why it's a classic that will endure forever.
Forever. Forever. Forever.
So until next time,
we're gonna head round Mums,
kill Phil,
grab Liz,
go to the Winchester,
grab an ice cold pint,
and wait for all this to blow over. This and all of our episodes are brought to you by patrons, people on our Patreon that get lots of cool stuff. People like
Seth Southern,
Sarah Couture.
Ooh, classy. Shelby.
That's an H. Gracie CPR, all one word.
And Connor Finn.
Cheers, mate.